Stop right there. We are not finishing the intro, okay? They have dropped this 30th anniversary celebration, okay? I think we just gotta go straight in, boys. So, new cards. I was looking at the thumbnail. It looks like that the Mewtwo and the Mew have officially got writing on them. I didn't see any abilities. Shall we just give it a watch? I need to make sure that the playback, the sound is working. Pause. I'm making sure it's working. I'm just making sure it's working. Chrome is going out to 3. Chat, you can hear that? You can hear the... I'm assuming you can hear this. If you can't hear it, tell me. That wasn't English. Pause! None of this is English. I can't read what it does. Volkswagen. 30. They look good, though. Apparently, there's going to be like a Pikachu in every pack or something. Okay, all the legendaries. Right. Stop. We're getting evolutions. Okay. Those art looks kind of nice, actually. I kind of like that scrag. Okay, all right, pause. We'll go back. We'll let it run and we'll go back. We'll go back. This is the English channel. Greninja EX. Ooh. Wait, is this... Oh my god, Pikarom. Oh, okay, they're doing what they did on 25th, right? Oh, pause. That had an ability! Okay, we'll read it. 230 HP. I love the texture, bro. Oh, they look something else, man. They look like something else. Okay, that seems to... Okay, that's the pack art. Right, okay, right. So we couldn't read most of the cards. Let me just double check. This is the English YouTube channel. Yeah. Official Pokemon YouTube channel. Just dropped. Bruh. Didn't look great TCG-wise. Let's see what they do. Let's look at the Mewtwo and the Mew. So the Mew... First off, what are these going to be called? What rarity are these? Because this looks very unique. You've got this foil-like... foil-like... You know, there's this weird hollow effect. And similar to the Mewtwo. Both psychic type, right? So it's not... The color of the card is nothing to do with the typing. It's just... What would you call this kind of hollow effect? What would you call it? I'm sure there's a name for it. Chrome, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's giving Chrome vibes, isn't it? Right. Okay. So let's look at the Mewtwo because it seems to be the most underwhelming one. So it has photon bullets for 2 psychic, 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. And then psychic powers 230 during your next turn. It can't attack. 230 is not bad. It's not terrible. Like, that's a good attack. The 2-prizer hits 230. It's just, we're in the Mega era, you know what I mean? Yeah, Psychic can support you. Obviously, you have Smoochum and stuff like that. You have Wondrous Patch and all that. That's true. 230 is good for 3 and can't attack the next turn. Like, for that, like, attack cost and with the support we have, that's not terrible. That's pretty good. Isn't Clefairy just better? Well, it depends on yours and your opponent's board state, right? You actually don't really like the art style on them? The glossiness? I don't mind them. But maybe because it's like, oh, new card, new good. Like, you know. So, and then you have Memory Helix. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any of your bench Pokemon? Bro, that's such a throwback. Oh my god, my camera. Let me fix that. That is a throwback and a half, man. Give me a second. I'm going to have to stop that and then see if I can... Yeah, I don't want to, like, leak anything. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, hold on. That throws back to Is it the old school Mew? Hold on, let me get it up on Limitless. That's going to have some use case for sure, right? Just throw it in a Dragapult deck and just crispin. They just have a psychic weakness hitter. That'd be crazy into the Dragapult mirror, bro. Have like Mewtwo, have one copy of Mew EX, right? And then have like a Clefairy, have your Clefairy on the bench, crispin onto your Mew. As long as you have Dragapult in play, you could just like go for a 1-hit KO on a Dragapult in the mirror with this card. You know, here's me talking about Dragapult, you know, like it's a good thing. Oh, I hate when you search Mew on Limitless, it gives you all of the Pokemon because there's the Mew set. You know what I mean? But there is a Mew that had this exact ability. Was it like X and Y era? I think it was. I think it was like X and Y, if I remember correctly. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not just showing you nothing. Yeah, I think it's like X and Y era. I'm trying to find it now. Here. And but it was on a single prize that had like 30 HP, if I remember correctly. You know? There's obviously Mew EX. There's obviously Mew VMAX. Mysterious Tail Mew. The Mewtwo. It was a long time ago. I think we're getting to it, though. Did a Mew EX have that ability, or was it just a Mew? I think it was this one, right? No, it wasn't that one. It was this one, Memory of Dawn. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any of your basic Pokemon in play. Wait, hold on. Is this Mew EX only basics? Does any of you benched? Okay, that's the buff with the EX then. Okay. I like that. I like this because that opens the doors for like potential alternative attackers in your deck, which helps with weakness coverage. It's going to help with that kind of back and forth in weakness, which is always good in a format. You know what I mean? You need the energy? Yeah. You need the energy. They're going to get scalped? Yeah, these are going to be like mega scalped, bro. Like there's no way stopping the scalping, bro. That sucks. But on like a player's perspective, obviously we get to play it on ptcglive at least. These are going to be very similar to the ones in ptcglive, currently in the Celebration set, where they're purely collectible. You're not going to be able to play them, obviously, right? So these aren't going to be playable. It's not a reprint, for those that don't know. But I really wish they provided some English translations. I guess we can kind of like deduce what they do. So this Greninja EX looks really bad. I guarantee you that first attack is it does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And it says don't apply weakness and resistance to bench Pokemon. So this Greninja is going to do like 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for 1 energy and then 160 for 2. That's garbage. This looks interesting. So it's a 50 multiplier. What do you think the multiplier is going to be? It's written in what I think... Is that Chinese? I think that's Chinese. I don't think it's Korean. I think it's written in Chinese. Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be like 50 damage for each like Eevee or Pokemon that evolves from Eevee in play or something like that. You know what I mean? Wait, so is that... Oh, does that say 30 for each damage counter on this Pokemon? Oh my god, I forgot we got people who can speak the language. Any Chinese speakers in chat? So this is 30 damage for each damage counter on Greninja? On the defending Pokemon. Oh, okay, so a little bit of synergy with like the Mega Ninja. Because that turns this into 180 damage for one with one Mega Greninja ping. Zoom? No, I can't zoom, unfortunately. I don't have a zooming software. I cannot zoom. I could try this. Hold on. So you can see better. There you go. Yeah, curious. Give me a second as well. I need to get some little bit of music on. Little bit of music on. Whilst we try and figure out what these cards do, eh? Let's have a little experimentation session. You know what I'm saying? Right. So this does 30 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's defending Pokemon. 160. So that'd be 180 with one Mega Greninja ping, but you have to have Mega Greninja to do that. Could be great in like some sort of spread deck of some sort. On the targeted Pokemon. Oh, right. Okay, so it can do it to... Oh god, I've got food I need to be eating, bro. I forgot I've got a sandwich. So 30 damage to any of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on it. That kind of slaps, no? That kind of slaps. Check the link. What link? What link? To be fair, you could go to the official site, no? Don't they have, like, press release stuff? Here we go. Oh, right. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Okay, all right. Cool. Cool. Right, so instead of trying to deduce it, we just have it. So this Pikachu, 40 damage, 10 to itself. These are just like collector's stuff, right? This is going to be nothing. It looks so cool, but it's going to be nothing. I like the fact they've done the 30 in the in this box. That's pretty neat. So they're collectors. Okay. A Retaliate Umbreon again? I swear we've had that before. I swear we've had Retaliate and Umbreon before. Wait, is this a reprint of the one that we had? Is that what it is? These are ultra rares? 14 of 30. Yeah. So there's gonna be like, I heard there's gonna be like individual like artworks for each Pikachu you can get, basically. Or something like that. Yeah, so it's gonna be 30 different Pikachus you can get. I'm pretty sure my brain is telling me these are like... No, they're not reprints. So that's just gonna exist in the format, bro? Devolve each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon? We've got the evolution back, lads. We've got the evolution back. Devolve each of your opponent's Pokemon by putting the high stage evolution. Damn. It's a little on the awkward side with it being an evolution, right? But that could work in some sort of spread decks. So we got Retaliate, right? 13 if it's knocked out, 130. We know about that stuff. Ferry across. Search your deck for a supporter card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Okay. That's just super mid. Drifloom. Beautiful artwork. Donnie's looking for some kids to kidnap. Pause. Right. You may shuffle this Pokemon all cards attached into your deck. For 20 damage, it's not that good. I know you could like mess around with that, but not that great. Obviously, there's going to be a Drifloom then as a result. Lycanroc. Donnie is like the Batman of Pokemon. Like with that kind of picture, bro. Vigilante in the night, brother. The current Espeon EX devolves, does it? But does it dissolve all Pokemon? I swear it only devolved one. I know Noivern's Batman. I know. It's just that gave me Batman vibes, bro. We got the night, the moon in the night. Right. If this Pokemon was damaged by an attack during your opponent's last turn, it does 10 more damage. Wait, it does that much more damage. That's garbage on a card like that. Because it's got 130 HP. You're just gonna knock it out. All right. Sylveon! 50 damage for each type of basic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Lamina flow, Lamina rain, boys. Get some Lapras action. Just throw a bunch of energy into play. Yeah, that seems a bit awkward. That seems super awkward. That seems really awkward. Yeah, and then we correctly, well, chat correctly translated that one with the selfie slash. That's, yeah. That's been really hard to pull off. I remember it was that wasn't all creamy with a similar attack, wasn't there? Like that. I think it's rotated now. Well, no, it is rotated. It was a while ago. That's true. Here, Glass Trumpet Crispin. Only issue is the attack cost. It costs a psychic and 2 colors. That's like super bad. Larimar Rain, yeah. Okay. Right. So let's read it quickly. Pokemon TCG is, so this, the Pokemon trading card game is turning 30 years old and we're celebrating the occasion with the expansion releasing simultaneously worldwide. September 16th, right? 30th. This expansion will be the first to have a simultaneous global release, allowing fans across the world to enjoy collecting new cards at the same time. So what's interesting is if there's any new good cards in the set, we're not even going to know until we get it because Japan ain't getting it. They're getting it the same time as us. As you open these booster packs and bolster your collection, you'll notice that every card is foil, including basic energy. That's nice. Look out for the debut of a snazzy new rarity and the return of classic cards too. The Pokemon TCG is celebrating 30 years of rich history, and the game is still pushing toward the future with brand new artwork and experiences. In the 30th celebration expansion, futuristic rare cards featuring evocative new visuals. So they're called futuristic rares? Will debut as the latest addition to the Pokemon TCG. These initial cards feature Mewtwo and Mew illustrated by none other than the famed Japanese artist Yoshi Rotten. Big dubs! Yeah. As you open each Pokemon 30th celebration anniversary booster pack and discover the wonderful full cards inside, you're guaranteed to find a Sparky surprise. One of the 30 different Pikachu. Okay, yes, I was right. You're guaranteed a Pikachu in every single one, featuring unique illustrations. Today we're unveiling 3 adorable Pikachu illustrated by Okachiki, Yu Nishida, and Atsuko Nishida. This trio is already so adorable. What others will you find? So they're all going to be, everything's going to be like hollow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Pokemon TCG 30 Celebration will feature Pokemon from different regions for all kinds of collectors. Look forward to a variety of fan favorite Pokemon from Espeon and Umbreon going about their days to Lapras, Drifloon, Zorua, and Lycanroc, all appearing as delightful illustration rares, and Greninja and Sylveon stunning as brand new EX Pokemon. There are plenty more Pokemon where those came from, so stay tuned. I'm sure there's going to be something out there that's just going to be meta. Like, do you remember that the Flying Pikachu from the 25th anniversary, that won Worlds? I think it did, right? If I'm correct. With Arceus V-Star. So there's always the potential for something genuinely meta coming out. If you've been a fan of the Pokemon TCG for a while, keep an eye out for the classic Pokemon receiving top-notch treatment to commemorate their place in the game's rich history, like Charizard from Bait Set and Pikachu and Zekrom from Sun and Moon Team Up. These reprinted cards won't be legal for play, in the standard format, but you can still use them in formats that allow the original prints. So, expanded or... Is that expanded? Well, no. Well, yeah, that would be just base set format, wouldn't it? That's kind of cool, though. Although that's just going to be a chase card, isn't it? Every time a Charizard is just a chase. Yeah, scalpers will drive the price on that. Can't wait for the new expansion. Check out the trailer again. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so in terms of like competitive stuff, the reveals are like, okay. That Mewtwo's a bit underwhelming, sadly. This Mew genuinely will see play at some point. I can guarantee it. That ability is really good. Charizard was never good. I know Charizard was never good. So they're called future rares. All right. Okay. Chat, what's our thoughts on it? What's our thoughts on it? I'll have a munch of me sandwich. What's our thoughts? Yeah, 160 HP is nuts. Reminds you of Super Smash Bros. Melee metal characters? Yeah, valid. Memory Helix is going to be broken and expanded. I can imagine that. Mew's going to bring some... Hello, Gus. Yeah. I think it's going to add tech, bro. Let's see. Restart back? No. Sadly, no. These will be legal. Yeah, Mew EX, Mewtwo, these will be legal for standard play. Yeah. Mew is about the only good card. That's at 160 HP. Yeah, it seems like this is like the only good one that we've seen. This one, I think you could see this come up somewhere, right? 30 damage for each damage counter. That's actually not that bad. You understand, if your opponent has, you know, 100 damage on the bench, that's 300 damage you're doing to it for 1 energy. I know, but obviously it's a niche scenario, right? It's a super niche scenario where you first off, that has to occur. There has to be a Pokemon on the bench with 100 damage, and then on top of that, you need to evolve this Greninja, which means you need to be playing a Greninja deck. But this in Mega Greninja wouldn't be bad as a one-off, bro. It honestly wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if Mega Greninja ended up using this card. Because you just like, you hit, let's say you smack a Pokemon for 200 damage with like your Neo Upper Energy or whatever. They retreat to the bench and you're like, oh, you know, I don't have a boss. You know, as long as you got an Air Balloon or a Forms of retreat, Stealthy Slash, right? Knock it out, hit it for 400 damage. And in a format where when Dragapult rotates out, we're talking next April, it's going to be Mega everywhere, right? Megas are going to be the main show. So it's going to be free prize all over the gaff. So being able to like just instantly 1-hit KO a free prize like that would be massive. So this, I think, in Greninja, we'll see play. I don't think it'll be its own deck, unless someone finds some sort of like strategy to make it work. You could also be very... This would be... Dusknoir. No? Just Dusknoir, bro. Let's do the maths. You put 100, is it 130? It's 130, right? 130. So you're doing 3 times that. You're doing 390. Also, you could Dusclops for 50. That means you're doing 150. That's 200. Doesn't really work. I know. I'm seeing people say Frostlass. Yeah, Dusclops rotates, but not when this comes out. Dusclops will be in the format for... This comes out in September, October, November, January, February, March, April. So this will be out for 6 months with Dusknoir. This is coming out in September, not next April. Unless... Is there a rotation in September? Am I bugging? Am I bugging, chat? You could also combo with Mirage Barrage. Wait, this and Dusknoir will be in the same format for 6 months, if I'm remembering correctly. There's not a rotation in September, I'm sure of it. I'm so sure of that. Yeah, bro, Greninja Dusknoir. There you go. 1 energy attack cost. You've already got... You got to remember, right? We've already got... I've got my carrots and hummus, boys. Oh, yeah. Oh. I hit my lip. Yeah, so... Bro, if Greninja Dusknoir is a deck that's winning tournaments, this should do well. Bro, just pop a Dusknoir and you 1-hit KO everything in the format for 1 energy. You're joking. You're joking, mate. Just take the Shinobi Blade Greninja deck. Play 2 Shinobi Blade Greninjas, the one with the Dusknoir build, and play 2 copies of this Greninja. You're set, bro. The fact that it does it to the bench, brother, that's crazy work. Donnie's got a Mega Dragonite on the bench. See you later. It's not happening, obviously, but no one plays Dragonite. But when... I don't know. We'll see. But... That Dusknoir needs to be watched. We need an eye on that bad boy. Need an eye on that one. For sure. This just got too much going on, bro. I like the idea. It's creative. I think we've seen it on El Creamy before. But that had support for it and it still didn't really do anything. Four, 2-2-2 line? That's a lot, man. Hey, watch your language, Aura. It's interesting, though. Don't even need Mega Ninja no more. Mega Ninja being outclassed by both ninjas is crazy. But I'm pretty sure when Duskwire rotates, so will Have I got a spider on my bloody? I've got a spider on my food, bro. You can't see it, it's too small. It's a tiny spider, I think. No, it's not. It's not a spider. It was a hairball. Right. Yeah. So, although this looks really good, and we'll see utility. Now, the more that I think about it, the more this seems pretty fun as well, and could actually have a deck. It's because it's one energy. Like, you know, like you think of like Lopunny Dusknoir, Starmie Dusknoir. If you can get an attacker out reliably and use it only for one energy, it works very well with Dusknoir. That's been proven, right? That's been proven through multiple formats. So keep an eye out, man. Terra Eevee, you could bear in mind, you could pair this with Flareon EX. Right? But again, it's still awkward. It is also 300 HP, yeah. Mega Floette. Mega Floette can only accelerate Psychic Energy, right? So this won't work with Mega Floette. Am I correct? It's only 4 Psychic Energy. But what you could do, right? Could just build some sort of like Smoochum deck with like the Dunsparce engine and Rotom, and have some like have a Terrapagos in there, go for Trumpet, you know, but it's a lot. I get in the engine, discard power reliably, you know, it's a lot. That's true, Alex. Alone and Executor, Energy Search Pro. That's very true. Imagine if Guardy had this Mew EX. Well, the thing is, I think this Mew will see some sort of play, but yeah, the one thing that's holding me back actually is the 160 HP, bro. That's crazy work. Hello, Menga. That's crazy work. The 160 is really bad. Really bad. Is Terra Sylveon gone next year? I think, yeah. Chat, am I correct in saying... Sorry, I know I'm talking a mouthful. But am I correct in saying... all Terras are gone in April. I'm pretty sure it's all Scarlet and Violet Errors gone next April. And it's just Mega Evolution onwards, isn't it? I have seen a lot of people in chat saying 160 HP Purdue. It's 160 HP Purdue worth 2 prizes, but yeah. Not the Ascended Koraidon and Miraidon? Yeah, that's true. Because that came out more recently, didn't it? Oh, it's from Journey Together? Is it? Okay, so it's not going to be like an evolution on then. That's honestly, Phil, I see that. You played this in a Beedrill deck. Well, no, yeah, you can. It plays in a Beedrill deck for weakness, right? But, I don't know. It just seems like you're better off just like getting to that 330 with Beedrill to knock out something like a Dragapult rather than just playing Mew and then a Clefairy or, you know. Well, I guess that would work into Lucario, but Lucario isn't that popular right now. I think this would rise if Lucario's popularity rises. If Psychic weak Pokemon get really good, I know Lucario is good, but it's not as good as people like originally turned it out to be. But basically, this is the type of card that if Psychic weak Pokemon get better, that gets better. You know what I mean? It's what's funny. So we spoke about this Greninja deck. We could technically play this Mew in there as well. You know? It just won't apply weakness to the thing. But yeah, that's kind of cool. It's decent in that, like, You know, if you're like, let's just use this deck for an example, right? If you're struggling with board state and you're like, okay, I've only got one Greninja EX out and I don't have a Froakie down, you could just be like, right, I'm just going to bench a Mew and then just use the Mew instead, right? You know, as long as I can get this to the bench with an air balloon or something, whatever it is, or I just don't promote it. And I can just use the Mew. So that way I've been able to use this the same attacker twice with only needing to get one out. So this would be especially good in like stage 2 decks. Because if you're struggling to get your other stage 2 out, then you can just use this as like a substitute, so to speak, and be like, okay, I'm just going to Mew. Yeah, fine, it might get KO'd next turn or something, but I get to keep my stage 2 attacker. All right, now obviously they can't just gust, you know, in this case, a Greninja, and, you know, it's done with, right? The Mew's kind of useless. But I don't know. Just having a versatility attacker like this, I think has a lot of strengths, you know? But it's usually only if it really is worth the fact that it's giving away 2 prizes extremely easily. It's weighing that pro to con analysis, right? I like what you're thinking, Motivated. Mew control, copy Elgium, Badoo, Maractus, etc. while being a pivot and not needing to find it, refind energy. Yeah, I like that. Mew control would be nuts. That'd be crazy, bro. I can item lock you, trap you in the active. I can move energy around. I can do all that for just 1 energy. Crazy. Such a good pivot attacker. Exactly, yeah. You're just going to come in with it and do something, you know? That's interesting. Play Terra Palisand. What? But remember, boys and girls, you need the energy for this as well. You can't just truck it down and start attacking. You need the energy requirement. Steve's Metagross? Oh! Oh, yeah! Because you could just use anything on your bench then, basically. Also works with Matang. Bear that in mind. You could do like a Matang deck and you can have like Skarmory, more wild on your bench, you know? And then it just can do whatever. I think that could be good for Mew EX. Being able to use the attack of Mega Pokemon as a 2-prizer, like that's got utility. If it can, yeah, if you could have some toolbox deck that uses multiple Megas and just have Mew be the attacker, yes. Again, 106 HP is the biggest flaw, but it's a 2-prizer that can use the powerful attacks of Megas. That's something to bear in mind. You could also throw this in a Mega Charizard deck. If you have that, you know, just whack it on there. Have both Mega Charizard Y and X down. You could be like, I could do 280 to the bench or just like 1k everything. With a 2-prizer. Prism Energy. Oh my god, is this going to be the new Ho-Oh box? No. Or like, yeah, Prism Energy. That's so valid. Yeah, you can just Prism, right? This is the most interesting one. This is going to have so much utility, I think. But where it lands is what I'm interested to see. But like, I think Megas is going to play a big role here because it's a 2-prizer. And you could like, if your deck, especially in the future, right? Let's look to the future when like 2-prizers are, or strong 2-prizers are really out of the picture, like Pult and that, right? And Megas are taking center stage in the meta, which it will come to because that's what they're preparing for. You know, and the prize trade is really going to be 3 prizes game, right? This would be massive if that's the scenario we end up with, because it could be 3 prizes, 2-prizer, 3-prizer, but you're forcing your opponent to an 8-prize game instead of a 6-prize game, or even a 7. You're forcing them to an 8-prize game because of this, and you get to use the attack of your attacker as well, as long as you can make it work. You know? What's the ability? The Pokemon can use... Sorry, this Pokemon can use the attacks of any of your benched Pokemon. You still need the energy. Do you think they're going to release a new anti-ability card Pokemon? I would like that. It'd switch things up a little bit. Bit of Garbodor reaction, you know? Yeah, and for those who don't know, Mewtwo, Photon Bullets, 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon for 2 Psychic. Super mid. What's with the... By the way, what's with the weird, like... The weird shading, not shading, but the cover-up of these energy symbols. I don't understand it. And And yeah, it does psychic powers 230 for free psychic, which is good. Again, as I said, like you want it carrying Fez, you want it carrying all the basic EXs and stuff. It can't attack the next turn, but that's relatively easily reset with Latias and stuff. Like, yeah. I don't know. It just seems a little bit busy, a little bit of lots to do before, you know, to get full use out of this thing when there's better alternatives out there, you know. You don't want a repeat of Path? No, I think what was really healthy ability lock was Garbodor, because Garbodor was like, you know, shut off all abilities, only if it had a tool attached, but there was also, is it Field Blower? Yeah, Field Blower. Also Field Blower in the format, which discarded tool cards in Stadium. So there was something in the format. And we have Tool Scrapper. So if they could introduce something like a Garbodor, right? First off, it's a stage 1. So like you can't just do it immediately, which is one downside. And of course, it requires a tool. So if you have an out to discard the tool, then there's counters to it. So I think if you introduce ability lock in the format, there has to be a way to deal with it. I mean, Path to the Peak, don't get me wrong, was just Stadium bounce, but then you just had to like clog up your deck with Stadiums and it wasn't fun. But something like a Tool Scrapper or something in your deck, you know, it has utility outside of just Stadium, just like ability locking. I really liked how Garbodor was done. I think Garbodor was done really well. It was super powerful, don't get me wrong, but there was counters to it, you know? Once again, I'm on the Pokebody train, having different capability categories of abilities. I mean, sure, but it would make things really like complicated unnecessarily, you know. Instead of ability lock with Fluttermane, it's not really ability lock though, is it? You're just turning off the ability of the active. That's doing nothing. I mean, it can help against things like, you know, Kangaskhan and all that, but that's really as far as it goes, to be honest. You know. Hello, Gesture. How you doing, mate? But yeah. Right. So, boys, I know it's a short stream. I need to go ahead and I need to do a little bit of tidying up. Actually, let's go tidy up. So, I'm gonna go and do that. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. Interesting stuff. Hey, very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. There's gonna be a new video on the second channel out tonight. Still working on my big channel video. But the one tonight, I'll spoil it for you guys that are here, or you guys that are chilling and staying after seeing it. It's going to be on a Mega Charizard Delphox. So we covered it on stream yesterday, but I know not all of you are able to make it, so it's going to be in video form on the second channel. So stay tuned for that. It's a vibe. But yeah, we're gonna that'll be released later tonight. And I think that's all. Leave a like. Check out the main channel video if you haven't seen the Greninja deep dive yet. It's a good time. But until then, boys, I will see you later. Bye-bye. Bye.